vast majority of you have known Bruce Lee out of context. So, what do I mean? Well, there's that famous clip that many of you have seen, where you see Bruce Lee talking about, be like water. It's this black and white clip where he's like, water can flow, it can crash, But what you don't know is that that clip is taken totally out of context, because if you watch the full interview known as Bruce Lee, The Lost Interview, you will see a very different picture of Bruce Lee. So, why was that clip taken out of context? Well, you see, before he says that line, those lines, he's told in the interview, the interviewer asks him,
Bruce Lee had a bit part or a supporting role in the Longstreet series, and this had an enormous effect on the audience. Can you remember the lines by Sterling Sullivan to the key?
He's one of my students, right?
Was he too?
Yes.
Everybody was your student. But you read, there were some lines that expressed your philosophy. I don't know if you remember them or not.
I remember that.
Let's hear.
This is what it is, okay?
You're talking to Longstreet, played by James Francesca.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless.
He thinks about the lines from the script as an actor. He finishes and he laughs. He goes, you see, like that. Throughout the rest of the interview, Bruce Lee doesn't talk like that at all. It's a very exoticized Chinese version of a person. Because in Hong Kong, Bruce Lee was seen as way too American. And in America, everyone saw him as too Chinese. And that clip has always been taken out of context for the last, 50 years. As if that's how he talks in real life, because that's not how he talks in real life. If you watch the full interview, you see a version of Bruce Lee you never knew of. So for instance, the interviewer will ask Bruce Lee, can you break, 10 boards with your hand and fist? And he says,
I'll probably break my hand and foot.
The guy asks him, so you're a star now, what do you think of that?
Well, let me say this. First of all, the word superstar really turned me off, and I'll tell you why. Because the word star, man, is an illusion. It's something what the public calls you. You should look upon oneself as an actor, man. I mean, you would be very pleased if somebody say, hey, man, you are a super actor. It is much better than, superstar.
Yeah, therefore, you've got to admit that you are a superstar. You're not going to, if you're going to give me the truth.
I'm honestly saying this, okay? Yes, I have been very successful.
Yeah.
Okay? But I think the word star I do not look upon myself as a star. I really don't. Believe me, man, when I say it.
And then Bruce Lee talks about, making a martial arts series that takes place in the West. He goes,
I think they want me to be in a modernized type of a thing. And they think that Western idea is out.
But you want to do the Western, eh?
I want, because you see, how else can you justify all these punching and kicking and violence except in the period of the West? In nowadays, you don't go around on the street kicking people or punching people. Because if you do, that's it. I don't care how good you are,
It's a very Americanized, charismatic Bruce Lee you have never seen. And that's partially why it's known as The Lost Interview. I really encourage you to check out the full interview. It's 20 minutes long. He talks about Tai Chi Chuan. He talks about, what learning martial arts is about and his different students, his celebrity students, and what they take from it. But he's super chill. He's super relaxed. And it also makes me realize that if he hadn't died so young, he would have been on Carson. He would have been on all the talk shows, and we would have seen a version of Bruce Lee that shows what Asian Americans are, how we are so much a fabric of the country, and how we are part of the country, how we help build this country. Honestly, I think because he died and he was portrayed in such an exoticized manner, it set us back a couple decades. I think that's why only now, for the first time, I feel like I'm being noticed and not treated like a total immigrant. And I think if Bruce Lee didn't die, we'd have been ahead 20 years. But it is what it is. So anyway, please check out that Lost Interview and see who Bruce Lee really was.
You know what I want to think of myself? As a human being. Because I don't want to sound like, as Confucius say, but under the sky, under the heaven, man, there is but one family. It just so happened, man, that people are different.